Well, a lot of people are going into another dangerous night, as Bill just told us, many of them having just survived the first wave of storms. One of those people is Matt Vandevander, who's from Selmer, Tennessee. He lost his home in last night's tornado outbreak. Matt, so sorry to hear that. Thanks for being here. If you wouldn't mind, walk us through what you experienced last night.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Really, it seemed like a standard, bad thunderstorm night, nothing out of the ordinary. I got in bed around 11:30. Fortunately for me, I didn't fall asleep. Things started getting worse. The sound started getting more intense. I got up, decided to take a look out my window, and there was so much going on, and it was picking up so quick. I was like, okay, this is an emergency. I got to get to safety. So I sprinted to my bathtub, got in the bathtub, and then almost instantly, after having got in, my house started ripping apart. And basically from the moment I heard the first part of my house start breaking, I was already gone.
Wow. How long would you estimate that it lasted, that you were in the bathtub?
I wish I could give an estimate that's maybe not an over-exaggeration, but it seemed like I definitely was in there for a couple seconds. I ended up landing in the woods behind my neighbor's house. So I was definitely taking a good distance, and I was trying to stay in the tub. I'm not really processing what I'm doing, but I'm holding onto the tub for dear life. And I remember I'm trying to keep it under me, but at a moment it got over me, and I was like holding on to it while it was above my head, and I ended up just falling into a pile of debris.
It's hard to even imagine. You mentioned it's difficult to process in the moment. Now that you've had a little time, when you try to process it, what were you thinking when you came out and you saw what happened?
Well, when I came out, the first thing I was thinking was, let me get to safety. So I crawled out of it. I got a lot of punctures in my feet and wounds and things like that. I crawled to my neighbor's house, got to the front door. I was bleeding from my face. You see I've got this wound right here, but it was actually a lot worse. And I've got cuts all over my body, and I was just bleeding. And so I show up at the door, and I'm knocking, and like blood's pouring down. And yeah, it was a crazy experience.
Well, we're certainly glad you thought to get into that bathtub. A lot of people don't have that quick thinking whenever an emergency is happening. Was this the first tornado that you've experienced? Yeah,
so first time ever I've really had any sort of house damage from any sort of weather experience. My mom lives right next to me. She lost her house too. And, given her age and her health, it was a miracle that she ended up coming out alive as well. So it was really a crazy time. I mean, even earlier that night, me and a buddy were talking. We do a podcast called False Graves, and we were joking about us getting blown away on the live stream. And then 2 hours later, that's my reality. So it's definitely a crazy experience.
Yeah, eerie to sort of have predicted that. Do you and your mom, do you have a place to stay now?
Yeah, we've got good friends, a good family. That's where I'm at now. I'm with friends. My mom's over with my grandmother. And so we've got a place to stay. We're doing good. I'm trying to stay positive through it. And yeah, just keep a positive mindset. Yeah, that is a good thing to do if you at all can, and to take it slow, give yourself time to process what happened. And thank you so much for sharing your experience and the reality of that with us. Matt Vandevander, thanks so much. We appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app, or follow us on social media.